Okay, people on Kung Fu Havoc number 2. We're back. This is part 2 of weapons and God damn it, I'll title it sooner or later about weapons. Anyway, we're gonna do bound fighting. No weapons behind the back with my hands tied, but weapons in front. As you've already seen the chain, I'm gonna use the chain first. Because it's not impossible to do what you just saw. It just is a little bit more difficult. Even more so now that it has a knot in it. Yay. And please forgive the four-legged mongrel that it's not mine. Yeah. So you pretty much know this is gonna look bad. That's a bad sign. Alright, so you can still fight with your hands tied with a weapon. Alright? Still got the maneuverability. Just not the safety parameters. But if my hands are tied, as long as I can do this, I can still kick somebody in the ass. Alright? Now switching directions, that's going to be a problem. You also need to learn how to do that, just in case this thing comes back at your face. Because plastic or not, it's still going to hurt like shit. So let's see if it's down. Nine times out of 10, if somebody's coming at you, this move ain't really gonna be necessary. You're just gonna swing that shit like you would in real life. Like this. Whatever you hit, I promise, they're gonna know it. This will be your defense. That'll be how you stop it. That'll be your other defense. But there's so much things you can do with your hands tied. So, again, do not attempt this shit without proper training. Even with training, you just seen me almost fuck myself up. Again, let me wave to these guys. How y'all doing? God damn it. Okay, phone just went haywire. Sorry. Okay. So now we're going to work the big bow, the cane, and 1 comma. Alright? So the realness of martial arts is really simple. This is not going to work. I'm probably going to have to bend down and pick this back up. Or that's going to happen. See how things are when your hands are tied and reality kicks in. Okay, it worked that time. So, your hands are tied and you have to learn how to use them as one hand. So, boom, 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 boom. Now, since you have this big ass bow, that's not going to be necessary. Your foot action is not going to be necessary. But as you can see, my hands are tied. So I have this bow. Realistically speaking, this is all you're going to need. The ability to swing and swing and swing and swing. This here, not necessary. You're fighting someone. They have nothing but intentions to hurt you. So unless you plan on going to a momentum factory, you don't need this. It looks cool in movies. Also, you can break your damn thumb. And as you see what just happened there, had I not been trained properly, that bitch would have came down and hit me right in the fucking head. So, step 1. If you have to kick someone with this big staff, you're fucking up. This, look at my height. Look at this staff. Now, if they get in, okay. If they get past your staff, okay, you didn't fuck up. They're just better than you thought. But in the event that they can't because they suck, then you should not use your feet. You don't need them. You have all this range. Now, that's a lot of damn range. Boom. But let's say to get in, So now you have to fight smart. So you're here, your hands can only go so far. Short strikes. Boom, boom, boom. You get it up here, stay there. Here, there. Those are more like safety precautions versus you doing this shit or this shit that I can't do because my hands are tied. Yeah, that's why your hands are tied. You can't do that shit. This shit here, okay, that's showing people that you can roll a stick. Real life, that shit ain't gonna matter. So you better use this motherfucking stick instead of trying to show off. You're not Master Splinter. You're not Donatello. You have a stick. Take your fight stance. Wham! Wham! Then reset. Because if you're left-handed, boom, boom, those are your best strikes. But in the event that they get in, boom, boom, they duck, there's a knee. If you can't knee them, boot them. So from this side, boom, boom, left foot. Alright? Let's start over here now. Boom, boom. It's really hard to maneuver this stick with your hand side. So again, it looks cool as shit in movies. So, you know, you want to go around, I'm gonna die. We don't have time for that shit. Alright? Whirling around the neck. In case you can't see, my hands are tied. There are things that your hands are tied are going to prevent you from doing. Like that. And that. So, just because you see me do it, I've been doing this shit for years. I'll be 47 tomorrow. So I've been doing it long enough to know what you can and can't do. Now, as far as pressure testing it, I don't recommend that shit. Like I said, it's good for movies. But me showing you proves that it can be done, but everything is situational and you don't want to ever have to fight with your hands tied. But you can do it. Especially if you've been trained. So, we're going with the cane now. This is a short cane. Alright? This is an old school cane. You won't ever be able to do that. That's why. There's a reason why I do that shit. Because the simple reality is, you have this weapon in your hand, you damn sure better use it as a weapon. Boom, 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 boom. So you can baseball bat the shit out of people, or you can hook and pull. And when you hook and you pull, let's say, same thing I did with the hula hoops, simulating the iron rings, gut, neck, pull, knee, gut, neck, pull, knee, gut, neck, pull, leg. Same side, only now you're going to do karate versus kung fu. Gut, neck, pull to the knee, gut, rep, pull, full on kick. You see, the situation is a little bit tricky because your hands are tied. So this shit here, irrelevant. See how fucked up it is? And easy for you to lose. The only advantage that you will have while your hands are tied. So you don't want to do that. But because your hands are tied, you have to learn how to use both of your hands as one fucking hand. Boom, boom, pull. Now that one would hit me in the gut also. So you have to be exceptionally careful. You also have to know that when someone's teaching you something, watch for their mistakes because they might not catch them, as I just caught mine, which would have hit me in the gut when I pulled. So if you're going to pull, you want to step out, away from it, and then throw in a knee if you're doing karate. Out, away from it, throw in this knee if you're doing kung fu. Now the reason why I said that, because kung fu works mostly on power, excuse me, that was a mistake. Kung fu works on directness, while karate works on more power-based moves. So I don't have a lot of upper body strength, and depending on the big bastard that's caught up in this thing, boom, this was easier for me versus that. Alright? So again, you're hitting in the gut, you're going to bend over, you're going to wrap this thing around their neck, and you're going to pull it. Now let's say you're fighting and you don't get that opportunity. So they throw a punch, block. They throw another punch, block. Understand? So you have your blocking down. They throw a kick, block, grab the leg, and pull from under them. So when you hit them, like you blocking them away, I had to adjust the stick. Boom, then you're knocking this leg out. And then you're scooping this leg with that. Now in the event that this kick is already launched, it's like right there, then just smash the knee. They'll stop. You know, so The kick is a front round kick. There, your target is that knee. Because they already have the momentum needed for you to smash the knee. Because they're already there. So when they're there, you boom. You smash that fucking knee. Your hands are still tied. Bam, you got the knee. Once you got the knee and they come forward, boom. High stick the shit out of their ass like you're a hockey player. Boom. Or 4, do some golf shit. Because your hands are tied. Alright, last weapon. And then we'll do some martial arts stuff with my hands tied. So I have a comma. Alright, this is a wooden comma for everybody's safety. You're not going to be doing this. Or this. Well, not that. Well, this. That's why you're not going to do that. This thing is to not leave your hands under any circumstances whatsoever. In real life, these things have blades. So, when someone throws a round kick, boop, right in the knee. Right there. Or right down there. You want to end this fight quickly. You have a bladed weapon. Boom, right in the leg. They're throwing a punch, boom, angle your blade. You don't have to do much with this because this is a blade. When they throw that punch, sweep, sweep, just sweep your blade. You don't have to do much. There's a blade there. In real life, commas have blades, and blades are sharp as fuck, and they will cut you. So when someone's throwing a punch at you, you're going to damage their ass. But you have to be in non-panic mode. So boom, boom, put it over here, boom, boom. Alright, so like I said, I've been training with my hands tied for years, so that's why I know what the fuck I'm doing. However, I've never had to fight with my hands tied, but I have trained with my hands tied. So, if you ever get in a situation, don't think that you can't, but listen to me and listen goodly. I don't recommend that you do. But then again, some people, you can get a recommendation all damn day and they'll still do exactly the opposite of what you tell them to do. Alright, so if you guys haven't watched my IGTV video about fighting with your hands bound, we're going to go reverse first because it's the most difficult. It is also highly, highly not recommended. Hold it. God damn it. Okay, thought those was waves. And yes, you can thrust it. Whichever one I was thrusting. Except that damn chain. You can't really thrust that. But you can thrust the chain dart thing. God damn it, sweat's running in my eye. And I'm stuck. Okay, sweat's running in both of my eyes. Alright. So when your hands are tied behind your back, you are limited to a lot of shit. So, I made a video about this before. But your hands are tied behind your back. So, you have a couple options. Alright? Your first and best option. That's pretty much the gist of it right there. That's your first and best option. Is to run. Because it's going to be kind of difficult to fight. And if they get you on your back while your hands are behind your back and you're not a contortionist or very, very flexible, then you're not going to be able to do the go down the leg, slide out your ass, put one leg through and the other leg through. I no longer have that flexibility. I'll be 47 tomorrow. So, yeah, that shit's not an option. So we're going to teach you your basics when your hands are tied behind your back. If you don't know your basic front kick, side kick, and crescent kick or jump kick, this is where you learn that shit. Alright? So your basic front kick, boom. Your basic jumping front kick, boom. Understand how that works. Your side kick, that's actually a stepping side kick. Outside to inside crescent kick. Inside to outside crescent kick. Alright? So those are the basics that you will be able to use while your hands are tied. Alright? Now, on the downside of your jumping front kick is that if you miss, you're in deep shit. If you miss that kick and someone grabs you and just bulldozes you into a wall or slams you on the ground, there's a good chance that your arms will land in the I'm going to get fucked up position, which means they'll probably get broken on impact. You can get lucky, but you can also use a jumping front knee. It also depends on how this person is coming at you. if they're coming at you kind of crazy, you know, just stick with basic shit. You know, they're running right at you. Boom! They're running right at you. Boom! Now, if you want to get technical and they're running at you and you want to double kick them, you know, boom, boom, would probably be a little bit more effective versus boom, boom. You know, they'll both still work. Do I recommend them? I told you, your best recommendation, if your hands are back here, is to fucking run. Alright? When I was younger, I was always told that a good run is better than a bad stand. And I agree with that unless you have nowhere else to run. And if I can get this belt off me, we can go to front training now so I can end this video and have a good Saturday. Alright. So, for all safety purposes, this is your non-standard, because now your handcuffs are like, if I can get this bitch to go to where I need it to go, your handcuffs are like this now, so you like have no range. But for rope tires who don't have Boy Scout training, you know, you're probably going to be with just enough ability to unzip your pants, drop them, and be able to pee or poop. It's going to be kind of hard if you're a hostage, but anyway, let's get to the real McCoy now. So, again, while your hands are in front, they must learn to work as a team. Alright? So, we're not going to do any crane or snake. We're not doing any of that, because this eliminates your form for that anyway. So, you're going to learn your blocks again first. High, medium, low. High, medium, low. And then you have your blocks with your legs as well. High, medium, low. High, medium, low. Now if you're going into long bow in a block or long blow in a block, that would probably be the correct form that you would want to do. The problem is, hands are tied. So here's reality. You know, you're fighting, block, 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 block. Now this block here also helps for the front foot sweep or the back foot sweep, where your hands are tied. Here, you're going to lift up your leg and you're probably going to step back while you're doing it, so that you can go into high crane. You guys know the drill. If you're watching this, you obviously know some martial arts. So they're going for a front sweep, which is like this, and your job is to step back and lift that leg up. So when you lift that leg up and they're halfway through, boom, you're attacking right here in the ribs or the head, because they're already down here. So unless they're doing like a side slide kick, you know, you got a chance. And if they do that, it's even better for you, because they're sliding in, so you're going to put your foot in their knee and then spring off that shit and knee them in the face. The bad side of that is if they know that move, they're probably going to catch you and body slam you. So there's a good and bad to all of this shit. Alright? So, your opponent's throwing turning round kick that way. So, you're blocking this way. You're not going to be able to break their leg unless they're putting really good power behind it. That being the case, I would advise you to punch them just above the knee where the teardrops are. I'm not wearing shorts, so you can't really see it, but if you get naked and you see these little dimples in your legs, that's where you want to punch them. Because the harder you throw that kick at me, the easier it's going to be for me to jam that shit, which is part of Kempo as well as Wing Chun, so I can jam you in your joint. So if I'm hitting this joint with my fist while you're throwing that kick, the harder you're throwing that kick, the easier it is for me to do damage to you. A lot of people are going to be like, nah. It's like, well, here's the thing. However many martial arts styles you have taken versus what you do out in the streets work differently. Do not come over here, I am recording. Anyway, so if you're throwing a front kick at me, I have options because I have a rope in my hand. So if it's a basic front kick, which is here, versus an axe kick, which is there, you know, if you have the axe kick, I'm good, because I got you. And now this fight is mine, because you axe kick. It's caught right here. So I can grab that foot, kick this other foot from under you, take you to the ground, put my knee in your groin, and just take your ass ground and pound style. But if you're throwing a basic front, you know, boom, I'm going to have to block it. I'm going to have to block it. I got to do something to get the hell out the way. Now, if you're doing this, I'm just going to duck that shit. I'm not even going to attempt to block it. I'm just going to duck that shit. And when I duck that shit, I'm going to push off into your guts. Because 9 times out of 10, when you're in the air, you have limited protection. So you don't pull that kick fast enough, you're screwed. Alright? So, you're going to sequence attack. So someone's doing this to you. Boom, 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 boom. My only advice to you is just to get the hell out the way. If you can block them, block, block, block. You know, it's going to be hard for you to counter, but just keep blocking. There will be an opening at one point at one time. Now, if they're doing this shit, get ready. Boom, boom, boom. The tornado kick was their opening. So when they do the tornado kick, you're going to block and push because they're in the air. They're already in the air, so they're practically defenseless. A lot of kicks that people don't understand when you do martial arts, that if you are in the air, you are more subject to be fucked up than you are to not be fucked up. So if you're in a fight, that fancy shit that I did, it's no good. Your hands are tied, it's definitely no good. So you want to keep that shit simple. They jump in the air, boom. They come running at you, zoom. They run at you and you do outside to inside crescent kick, boom. It can set you up for the next move. You do inside to outside crescent kick, it might work a little harder to set you up for your next move. So they're coming, boom. Now I got to get over here because that's the direction that I kicked them in. I might not be fast enough, so I'm going to be doing a lot of praying that when I did that I catch them right and they go down for the count. But if they don't, I'm here, which means depending on their recovery time, I need to be able to move over there swiftly enough with my hands tied to get them. And by getting them, I want to put my hands here, either in the front of their neck and set on them and just hold them there until they can't breathe, or I want to get behind them so it's like a rear neck and choke, only I got this rope right here, so I'm using it behind them this way. So it would be like this, only in reverse. So basically I'd scoop over their head and I'd just keep reeling back on it with this ball or the rope into their neck. I'm not trying to kill them, but I'm trying to keep them from killing me, plus my hands are tied. So in my defense, officer, my hands are already tied. So therefore, I probably just taught you how to murder somebody, so I'm sorry, please do not attempt that. Also, if you haven't been trained in martial arts, this is not for you to go and try outside. Works good in movies. Works really well in movies. Stuntmen make that shit look so cool. But in real life, you really need the training to do this shit because you can get hurt seriously badly, so we don't want that. I enjoy the views, but I don't want you going out and going to the hospital because you saw me do some shit. Now, you're not going to do this. I'm probably going to hurt myself now with this attempt at a butterfly kick. Alright? It's really going to suck. Just putting that out there. It's totally going to suck. You're never going to do that with your hands tied, except in the movies because it's a controlled environment. And more than likely, you're not going to do the tornado kick. So now we got to teach you how to defend. With that butterfly kick, you're vulnerable. So when they set up to go for the butterfly kick, their head goes down, their body comes up. You can slide in and kick them in the face, or you can let them get halfway through the kick and then kick them in the crotch area if they're that close to you. But the best thing to do is if you're going to let them complete the kick is to fall down and kick up. Now, let's see if you want to try fighting with your hands tied and you're doing capoeira. Alright? So, your Jenga now has become this. Instead of before, it's one hand down and one hand up. And it's side to side, back, side. Yeah, everybody's Jenga is different. Try to remember that. Everybody's Jenga is different. Because every style evolves. Alright? And for those who don't have range of motion, it really is. That's it. Now, some people will go down and come back up with a push kick. Some people will go down and come up with a wheel kick. So it just depends on who's been training what. So your hands are tied and you're fighting someone with capoeira. If they have a really low Jenga with no block, boom, that's your opportunity. if they have a high Jenga, like mine, because my hip doesn't work, so I'm not going to be going all the way down, fuck that shit, because it puts me in a position where I might not be able to recover. So, you know, and then if you do the pancake or the Shaolin layback, and I try to kick over you while you're doing it, I'm in trouble. But also, the Shaolin layback and the pancake, you are exceptionally vulnerable. No, I cannot do those moves, but if you don't know what they are, it's when you throw yourself on your back of your shoulder blades and you kick back up. Okay, in the event that you're fighting someone and you sweep over them while they're doing that, stop mid-sweep, turn, and come down. A lot of people don't understand that. That would be a Taekwondo move if you haven't taken Taekwondo. There's a lot of Taekwondo moves, they're always here and elevating. But a lot of Wing Chun and Kung Fu also has that. So if you're like here, boom, so you can stop it in mid-kick. Because, you know, you can see people when they do certain Wing Chun aspects or certain Kung Fu where I stop and then I elevate the kick that way. Kind of like those stripper pole chicks where they have their leg do some asinine, odd-looking shit that I think only women can do. You do that. So it's pretty much like I'm here and I'm stopping and I'm bringing it back. All right. In my younger days, that looked a whole lot better than what it just looked like. So when you're fighting with your hands tied, none of those. Never turn your back on your opponent because you're vulnerable. No aerials. In other words, this. None of that. Because once you're off the ground, you are vulnerable. Now, basics. Inside to outside crescent kick. Boom. Now, see, if I got him close enough to where he lands here, I'm on him. Where this one, because of my hip, if he's not right here when he goes down, I have to be able to move in to get him. You see where I'm going? You need to put your opponent in a position that makes it easier for you, not easier for them. So if he's running right at you, boom, front kick to the chest or the solar plexus. If it brings him this way, you just grab him and you knee him. If it makes him fall back, you go with him so that you can grab him and take control of the fight. Remember, your hands are tied. So he throws a punch, boom, elbow. But he has a left hand. So I just fucked up. Yes, that's right. It might have looked like I didn't fuck up. But I fucked up because I blocked his right hand and I hit him in the gut. But he has a left hand that's going to tag me in the face. So if you're going to do karate, you want to block and then block instead of block and then strike. Where if you're doing Kung Fu, you want to get him to the outside and then you want to throw a knee in. This would have changed it from Kung Fu to karate, by the way, because I put this knee, which was not the closest knee. This knee would have been the closest knee, but when momentum is happening, you don't have time to worry about, am I going to karate kick him or am I going to Kung Fu kick him? Because the way it works is, whatever gets from point A to point B the fastest is what's actually going to happen when you're fighting. So you can know as many multiple martial arts as you want. When you get into a fight, whatever is right there is going to be right there when you are there. Let me rephrase that. Let me put that in English for you. If I'm blocking Kung Fu style, I'm getting to his outside. My immediate knee was over here. But since it was out of range, the karate move would have came in. And if I got him here fast enough, and this knee was close enough, that would have been the Kung Fu move, all right? Or I could do a combo. Kung Fu block, karate strike, Kung Fu sweep. Make that simple for you. Let me go from this side. I stepped out here, I kneed him, and then I swept him. And as I sweep him, he's going up so I can elbow him, okay? Yes, that can be done, all right? So you have to be pretty quick. But with your hands tied, that's the freaking obstacle factor. So, you know, your hands are pretty much tied. So you need to learn how to use this thing here as a weapon. So this is how I'm going to end this thing. This weapon is only against you if you think that it's against you. So you've learned my hands, high block, low block, or medium block, and then low. So now I've learned how to use them as a cohesive unit or as one hand. So high, medium, low, high, medium, low. And now if you want to do sophisticated shit, high, medium, low. You know, so I lift my foot and the sweep goes by. As the sweep goes by, I can elevate this foot over that way, or I can use this foot because it's right there. Understand? So high, medium, low, high, medium, low, or medium, depending on the situation of the kick. Now this can be a medium kick for the simple fact that you're blocking high and low at the same time, and your opponent is throwing a front round kick. Alright? So while your hands are tied, let's go over it one more time. I'm going to give you your 4 basics. Maybe 5 basics, depends on who you are. Your first basic, front kick. Inside to outside crescent kick. Side kick. Stepping side kick. Alright, jumping front kick, which will probably be your last resort. Alright, because you're going to leave the ground. The other ones you don't really leave the ground. One foot leaves the ground, making you somewhat vulnerable, but if you connect, then you're not going to be vulnerable. But if you miss, you will be vulnerable, and you don't want to be vulnerable in a fight. Now, what I left off was the axe kick. Alright? Now that axe kick is also very important when your hands are tied. But the problem with the axe kick is, for me, because I'm short, if you're taller than me and you go for the axe kick, it puts me a whole lot closer to your groin than you want me to be. Plus I have this rope. And so if you're going for the axe kick and I can avoid it and come up with this rope, you're going to be sitting across this thing like this. And this is going to be a problem for you, not me. Because I'm the one with the rope. And I'm just going to keep doing this. Just going to keep jacking you up. And that way, either you're going to have to come down and hit me, you're going to have to do something really, really cool, and that shit ain't going to work for you because I got your crotch in a rope. And I'm steadily lifting that bitch up to prevent you from hitting me. So you have to learn a few things about martial arts before you even attempt to practice with your hands tied. First thing you got to learn is how to block. And if your hands are tied, you have to learn how to use both blocks as one block. High, medium, low, high, medium, low. So, got that? High, medium, low, high, medium, low. Alright? And the reason why I went back through that is because your blocks in a fight with your hands tied are probably a lot more important than your strikes. And the reason that is because your hands are tied. Now, if they're in front of you, you got a fighting chance. When they're behind you, you have a fighting chance. But what did I say? I'll say it again. If you have to fight and your hands are behind you, the best thing you can do, front kick and run. Or outside to inside crescent kick, because it puts you in a running position. Boom. So now you're in the running position. Inside to outside crescent kick also puts you in a running position, but it also depends on where your opponent lands. Alright? Where your opponent lands is very important in a fight. So if you're doing this, and he lands right there in your path, that's not going to work out for you. But if you're doing this, he goes over there, you're right here, you're one step away. So you can do it with the other leg as well, Boom! So he's over there, you're over here. And you'll be able to run. So, we want to practice that? Of course we do. So, I'm going to go with the left leg first. This is my weak leg. Boom. So, yeah, I'm only taking so many steps. Kung Fu Haver 2 can see all the space that I have, but Instagram cannot. So, from there, we're going to do it again. Outside to inside, crescent kick, and run. Boom. Of course, if you're a Thai fighter, those are your main kicks. If you take kickboxing, American kickboxing, or Thai fighting, these are your primary kicks. So, I don't know why those are your primary kicks, but those are your primary kicks. Now, it's kind of hard to elbow somebody with your hands behind your back. It also puts you in a position where you really can't defend yourself as well. I ain't saying you can't at all. I can't get this belt off. But you can't do it as well as when they are in front of you. When they are in front of you, you got a hell of a chance. A hell of a chance beats no chance versus when they are behind you, where you have a pinochle shell of a chance, or as they like to say in church, you have a mustard seed grain of faith of a chance versus I got full on belief right here. Alright? Full on belief because my hands are in front of me and I have some control over what I can do with my hands and my feet. Where when they're behind me, I have some control over my feet, but I have no control over my opponent because I'm not flexible enough to be Mr. Fantastic and stretch my arms all the way back around. So when I'm here, I know I'm good. I know I got a fighting chance. I know you guys are getting tired of seeing me do this, I'm sorry. But when I'm here, even though I have a fighting chance, it's a very slim chance. Understand? No one really trains like this. No one goes to a dojo and get tied up behind their back and let someone throw kicks at them. Now, I left something off. That's why I went back here, by the way, also. You can block with your legs when your hands are tied behind your back. You remember the medium block? So, if they're throwing a punch, you can probably do one of these, like you see in the movies. It's probably not going to work out in your favor, but you can still do it. You know, sidestep, sidestep. Again, good in the movies. I can't guarantee you're going to be that fast that you're going to be able to dodge every fucking hit by doing a Shaolin sidestep or a lean. There's no way in hell that you're going to be able to get past all the hits. You're going to get hit. In that case, tip your forehead and pray that you don't get knocked the fuck out. If they check your chin and your chin's made of glass, your ass is going to the grass. Now, if you got a jaw of steel, you might have some fight up here. But the truth be told, your hands are behind your back. There's not a whole lot of fucking blocking you can do outside of trying to turn your shoulder into the thing to absorb the blow. Because you're going to do a lot more absorbing the blow than blocking the blow. So, they're throwing a kick like this. You got your medium block with your leg. You know, so you block that shit with your leg. They're throwing it this way. They go for a foot sweep. You can step over it. You know, if they go for the full-legged foot sweep, boom, you know, that would be your best defense because your hands are still tied behind your back. So what that would look like is I'm coming all the way over, and not only is my calf, but my thigh is trying to hit you. So I'm trying to completely take your feet from under you. So I might need both of my legs, or at least my full leg, to get that bitch high enough to sweep your foot. And most foot sweeps, they try to get you just between the calf and the heel. You know, no one really sweeps your heel. They try to sweep your calf and your heel. If they sweep your heel and you go down, they're pretty fucking strong. But if they sweep your calf and you go down, it's a better chance of them taking you down by getting your calf. Because right between your calf and your heel is it's easier to take you down because you can put more power behind it. Or if you kick their heel and they outweigh you, you'll probably just be wasting your time. It'll probably be a dead stop and you might hurt yourself. But if they're kicking at your area right there, you know, it's a good chance that they're probably going to take you down. So your best moves are step back, lift your leg, even jump if you have to because, you know, they're using their whole leg. So you want to be able to remember those movements. And Instagram just quit. So Instagram, you can follow me on Kung Fu Africa number 2. Alright, so to finish this off, you know, your major blocks with your hands tied behind you are here and here. Now, if they're swinging at your head, you know, you can duck, you can do this, you can do that. It's probably better that you just duck. But you're only going to be able to duck so many punches, and you're only going to be able to block so many punches, and your hands are tied, so you need to end the fight quickly. So if they're coming right at you, front kick, outside the inside crescent kick, pray that they go that way, so you can go this way. And if you go this way, and they go that way, then you go this way. Whichever way they land is not the way that you want to run. Unless you're going to run and shiny wizard shit the fuck out of them. But that's not recommended because your hands are tied. Now, in the event that you can get your hands untied after you've kicked the shit out of them, do that. But my suggestion will always be first and foremost, run! This is Kung Fu Africa number 2. BC and you. Thanks for watching.